All right, great. I'd like to say good evening, everyone. I have some words of inspiration. Um, it's faith and healing welcome message. I'd like to say good evening. As we come together tonight, I want to remind us that God has already provided so much of what we need, not just in spirit, but in creation. Genesis 1:29 says, I have given you every herb bearing seed and every tree. To you it shall be for food. That includes the powerful healing of aloe vera, a plant of restoration inside and out. Tonight, um, as we reflect on the beauty of God's design, that healing can be simple, natural, and divine. So let us embrace this journey of wellness with gratitude, trusting that when we care for our bodies, we honor the temple He gave us. May our hearts be open, our minds renewed, and our health restored from the inside out. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Barbara.
You're
That was
welcome.
really inspiring. Thank you for those wonderful words. At this time, we want to hear from you. Let's have a shout out. Tell us where you're calling in from, how long you've been taking aloe vera juice, or the topical, or both. And also let us know if this is your first time online with us. Thank you. Okay, don't be shy now. Go ahead. Let us hear from you.
Well, I can start. Um,
Okay, thanks, Barbara.
this is Barbara. I've been using aloe vera juice, the juice and the topical since 2018. It has done some wonders for me. I really thank God that I was had the opportunity to run into Miss Rebecca Brown, who's the CEO. She is such an amazing woman, as we said about the aloe vera, inside and out. And I am from the Washington, D.C. area.
Thanks, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Okay, who else? Okay, I will go. I've been using the aloe vera and the topical since 2015. I was introduced to the aloe vera juice by Donna Wright Miller, and I've been using it ever since. And I've used it from everything from dandruff to coins on my toes. And it works. It works. Sometimes like everything else, I forget and I start complaining about things. And then I remember I have something in the refrigerator that I have not taken in a couple of days that I can take and will take care of this. And when I say, because I was having a toothache and I just put some in my mouth and just held it on that side. And I was able to go to sleep. So it's wonderful. And I just thank God for Donna introducing me to it, to the aloe products. And I thank Miss Rebecca for listening, paying attention to God and producing the product and staying with it. It hasn't been easy for her. She has worked a lot of long hours, but she has stuck with it. And I thank God for her. She is such a blessing in my life, and I really appreciate her. Thank you, Miss Rebecca. And thank all of you for being on here tonight. We really appreciate it. Oh, and I'm from the Maryland area. Sorry about that. I have on new glasses tonight, so you can't think and talk and see at the same time. Some of us can't, especially when I'm trying to get used to new glasses. Thank you. All right, let us hear from you. We have 9 people on the line tonight, so we should hear from more than 2 people.
Well, okay. I'll give my little input in this. This is Rebecca.
Thank you.
And I want all of you to know I am so, so grateful because God provided a means for me to be healed when I was sick. Not only was I sick, I was paralyzed. Not only was I paralyzed, I was in a coma. Not only was I in a coma, I was considered an involuntary drug addict. I was addicted to Demerol. And when I look back from where God brought me, there's no way I could sit still without giving God thanks. Because truly, the only reason that you're speaking to me tonight or listening to me is because God has been good to me. And I'm grateful. I am thankful. And I would say to all of you, if God has done anything for you, give him the praise. He deserves it. Because without him, nothing is possible. Don't be like the other 9 lepers. God healed 10. Only 1 came back to thank him. So out of all of you that's on here, if God has done anything for you, give him his due. Give him his praise. Give him everything that he's entitled to, because you never know when you'll need him again. And I can tell you, the aloe vera juice and the topical, God personally visited me, personally delivered to me. And I made a commitment to him. If he healed me and took care of me, whatever he asked of me, I would do it, regardless to whatever comes up in my life. I would do it. That's why we're here today. That's why the aloe vera is having an impact on your life, because I will not go back on my words to God. I will not. If I have to go by myself, I'm on my way. So I ask all of you to give God what is due to him. He's touched your life. Tell somebody. That's good news to somebody. So share it with somebody. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Rebecca. Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anyone else? Okay. Well, tonight we're going to hear from the CEO, the founder, and developer of the ABC&H aloe vera juice and topical. Tonight we will have questions and answers with Miss Rebecca. Miss Rebecca?
Okay. Let me just say a couple of things before we get started. I don't know how many of you are taking this whole thing serious, but if you're not, you should. The past 2 weeks of June was very painful because there were 3 people died within 2 weeks, or a week and a couple of days of each other. And it all stemmed from cancer. And it is a painful thing when you work with people and you try everything you can to help them. And at the very end, there become a moment of, I can't do this anymore. And you surrender to death. All I can say to you is this: don't wait until it's too late to start taking the aloe vera juice. Take it on a daily basis as a preventative, because cancer is now an epidemic and it is taking people out of here like I've never seen. And I've done cancer research for 8 years. And it is painful to watch this. And what I've noticed is normally at the near end, they give you morphine, but it's used intravenously. Now they're just squirting it with a syringe in your mouth every 4 hours. You cannot survive that. You cannot. So don't allow your body to get to a point where it can't fight anymore. Try your best to do the maintenance part to prevent these type of illnesses, because what you don't realize, you never know what's growing inside of you. You never know. The food you can't trust, the water you can't trust, the air you can't trust, the environment you can't trust. But what you can do is protect yourself from the inside to the outside. Okay? So I'm open for whatever.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Devon.
Hi, Devon.
And hold on, let's see. Okay. Um, my husband and I found out about Miss Rebecca about 2 weeks ago. We we ordered and received our order on the 30th of June. We started as soon as we got our product. We had a little issue getting it, but we got it, and we've been on it now. This is the 11th today.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we've been on since Monday last week. And before starting, I had squiggly lines in my left eye, and they were dark. And I can say that those lines are gone, praise God. And there's clearing of my eyes. There was a bit of film over the left eye, and I can see clear now. And I've been using the drops since I received the aloe vera, and I started using it 3 times a day, probably 4 days in. And I've noticed that when I wake up, there's a lot of mucus in my eyes. And that's one thing that that aloe has done. And I've noticed that I had stiffness in my legs and my knees. That's gone away. And see what else. I can't think of it right now, but when my husband starts to tell his testimony, then I'll probably think of it. But I just want to say praise God, and I thank God for Miss Rebecca and for her obedience, and for reaching out and allowing and not just keeping it to herself, but sharing, because she asked the question, I believe, and the Lord instructed her to share it. And so I just thank God for her being obedient. And I want to say that I'm from Tennessee, Knoxville, calling you from, and my friends who told me about Miss Rebecca, they're in the DC area, the Maryland area. So um, um, we ordered a second time. When she started telling her family members about it, I said, we need to go ahead and get our order in because she's got a large family. So just want to say thank God and thanks for allowing us to be on this call.
Thank you.
You muted.
Oh, hold on.
Okay. Are there any more comments or questions?
Well, I have a testimony.
All right.
This is Devon's husband, James,
Thank you, James.
and we started the Aloe Vera the same time. Now, my testimony is kind of, it has a little history to it because about a year ago, we had an accident, a car accident. We were hit from behind by some kids who had stolen a vehicle. And when they hit us with such, they hit the car that was behind us, and the force knocked that particular vehicle into the back of ours. And I did see it when it was coming. So whenever you see an accident, uh, if you see it coming, you tend to tense up. So I did. I tensed up, and I actually put my foot on the accelerator to try to get the vehicle out of the way because I didn't really want it to hit on her side of the car, even though it was a rear end. So the vehicle that hit us more on the on the driver's side, but it did impact the whole vehicle. So our vehicle got knocked up on the curve, and in the process, my seatbelt locked up, and as that seatbelt locked up, it literally just snatched me back, and around my waist, it had tightened up so much that it felt like somebody had put a clamp around my waist. And so the paramedics came, and when they came, the person behind us was injured, and I really didn't know I had injuries, but according to my wife, that I had kind of gone unconscious there for a minute. And I remember the policeman asking me, was I coherent, and are you okay? And the next thing I knew, he was calling the paramedics, and they came, and he said he's not there. I don't know, but he needs to go to be seen. So we got to the hospital, to the emergency room, and they immediately took took me back, and they did a full body scan because I had told them I had had some, as on the way to the hospital, I was talking to the paramedics, and I was telling them that I felt like I was fine, except my neck was hurting and my right shoulder was hurting. And so the paramedic asked me, do you have any injuries? And I said, I've had an injury from military service where I fell 2 stories to the concrete. And so we got in, they did a body scan, they came back about an hour and told me that you have a uh, hernia right around on your left side. You have a hernia. And she said to me, you're going to have to see your doctor. You need to see your doctor and get treated for that. And then she told me that there were some other things going on. Fast forward, that accident happened, what was it, last year? 2 years ago. So for 2 years, I had been dealing with what felt like a low grade pain on my left uh, just below my waistline on the left side. And so this pain started to get worse. Along with that, I started having a low grade pain on my right side, the lower part of my back. And in that scan, I forgot to say, they did tell me that they saw that there were stones, kidney stones. She said that they weren't large, but that they could see that they were there. And so from that time forward, from 2 years ago up to this point, um, well, up until we started the aloe vera juice, those injuries and those stones started to magnify because I could lay down at night, and I don't know if they were producing a problem with my left kidney, but at one point I had this urge. I had to go to the bathroom throughout the night. Well, I started doing some different things, natural things, and it kind of curved that. But what it didn't curve was the pain that was still there. And so it never touched the hernia. The hernia was still giving me pain, and it started to get worse. And then I noticed under my right leg, the back of the knee, more on the right side of the knee, if I sat on the couch, when I got ready to get up, it was like my knee was being unhinged. It's just hard to describe. So that particular pain was getting worse. So moving forward, we ended up ordering the juice. Because of a friend's testimony, we ordered the juice, and we talked to Miss Rebecca for, I don't know, maybe an hour, over 2 hours, I think, the night that we ordered. Today, I can say that I can lay down and I don't have to get up to go to the bathroom. That pain from what was a low grade pain in my back near my left kidney, that has subsided quite a lot, almost gone. And what's really remarkable is the pain that I was having from that. I believe that seatbelt caused that hernia, because I didn't really have that before. And so that particular situation that was really starting to bother me has started to subside. And I mean, it is noticeably subsiding. I mean, it's just really going away. The other thing, the back of my leg, where it feels like if I sit and on the couch, I would used to have to put my hands there, and I would have to, it's kind of strange the way that I would have to get up, but I'd get up in such a manner that it wouldn't put too much pressure on that part of my leg. Well, that is not present at all. That is completely gone. And I told my wife about that this morning. I told her that it had completely subsided. So that is my testimony of things that are changing as we go along with this program. And I thank Miss Rebecca for being obedient. And I thank God for what He has put here for us and the hands that He's using to help us. That's my testimony.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I tell you, the aloe is awesome. And I too thank Miss Rebecca for listening, being obedient, and just caring, because she labored a lot to bring this juice to us. And I really appreciate it. I really thank God for her. And you know, God gives gifts to people who can handle it. And she's one that can handle it because she's laboring long hours, long hours. And I thank God for her. Thank you. Okay, who's next?
My name is Desiree, and I'm from Maryland. And I was introduced to aloe vera through my brother, who, when I seen him, looked different. Him and his wife, they were glowing. They had lost weight. My brother's eyes used to be bloodshot red. They were clearer. They had energy, and I asked them, so what are you guys doing? And they said, we're taking this aloe vera. And when I seen them, I had fallen and did trauma to my leg, which was very swollen in my foot. And I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus, I think, for over maybe 13, 14 years. And I hit that knee. And before I hit the knee, whenever I did steps, I had to be careful. I would have to only use one leg and not put any pressure on the left leg because it would give me excruciating pain or just give away. So I said I wanted to try what you guys were trying. And that was like on a Sunday. So they called Miss Rebecca, and I got to speak with Miss Rebecca. So that Monday they picked it up for me, and I started taking it. And when I spoke with Miss Rebecca, it was like so refreshing because, I didn't know, and I'm a believer that aloe was even in the Bible. So it was great news for me to hear that. I'm like, oh. And when I started taking it, within 4 days, one day I went to go, I had left home. I mean, I had went to my car and I needed to go back in the house, and I live in a split floor, which goes upstairs and downstairs. And I went in and got what I needed and came back. And while I was on the way to work, I said to myself, it hit me. I walked up the steps with no pain and it didn't even hurt. I didn't even realize I walked up and walked down without using, I call it one legging it, putting the right leg up, bring the left leg, put the right leg up, bring the left leg up. And I started realizing I had energy, energy that I never had before, because before that, on the weekends, I had no energy. To go to work, I had no energy. I would go to work, come home, couldn't do anything but just sit there. I had trouble sleeping because I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. I would hold my breath. So they said that may have had a lot to do with me being so tired. I also was going through a heart condition that they diagnosed me with, and wanted to give me medicine, blood pressure medicine to take to control my heart. My heart was racing too fast. I had too many beats and I wouldn't do it. Um, when I started taking this, I have noticed a tremendous change in my health overall, including my mind. My mind used to be foggy and not clear. My mind is clear. I have energy. Um, I can walk. Actually, I can run up the steps without my knee hurting. The swelling that I had in my leg that was really, really bad is gone. Tremendously better. I just thank Miss Rebecca for being obedient also to what God would have her to do. I thank her for being a child of God and being obedient. And I thank her for being the person that God created her to be and allowing God to use her as a willing vessel. That is tremendous, because a lot of us need this, like she said, instead of being on, and like she told me, I have a thyroid disorder. You can keep on taking the medicine because the aloe will dismiss will what your body does not need and keep what it needs. But my thyroid will grow back. And I know this. I used to have stomach issues for a long time, and I wish I had known this beforehand, but everything happens for a reason. Nothing happens by mistake. But they took out my gallbladder. And ever since my gallbladder was taken out, and I went through issues with my stomach for over 20 some years, I usually once in a while get this stinging sensation where it used to be. And I started taking the aloe vera and it was stinging. So I called Miss Rebecca, asked her, what was that? She said, that is the aloe vera working, and whatever it is, trying to fight back, but just take more when things occur. Instead of taking 6 ounces, take 10 in the morning. So I've been doing that, and it has been tremendously better. And I've only been taking this going on 3 weeks. And I was like so excited. I just thank God for what He's created, for us, and for allowing us to even be able to know about it, because everybody needs to know about this. Everybody. We need to share this with any and everybody, because it heals your mind, soul, and body. I mean, if I could explain to you, if you could have seen a movie of me how I was before I started taking this, to the fact where I couldn't even, my mom, I take care of my mom. I couldn't even go help my mom. I had no energy to do anything, nothing. So I thank you, Miss Rebecca, and I really appreciate you. And I, like you, will share it with any and everybody that I know, because God put His hands on it, like you said, and He created this. He created this one thing to heal our whole body, and that is, I thank God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just thankful that you're getting the results that you are getting. And it's amazing how everybody that takes it gets results. Everybody get results. And it's a blessing.
Amen.
Thank you for sharing with us.
You're
Is there anyone
welcome.
else? Mike, I noticed you came on late, and I know you have something to say. Well, maybe not. Okay, is there anyone else? Okay, Miss Rebecca.
Okay.
I
Hello?
will-
Hello?
Okay, Mike,
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
good evening.
I was thinking about something. Like my hands were sore. This is just a reference to, well, we already know that it helped me with, blood pressure and that kind of thing. So that's done.
Well, you
But
can
I was
always, we have a lot of new people on tonight, so they haven't heard your story.
okay. This doctor I went to, I really wasn't having no symptoms, but when I went to my primary care and they took my blood pressure, so he was saying my blood pressure was high, and I was like, that's crazy. I don't have blood pressure problem. But then so happened a friend of mine, two friends of mine that died with, had a heart attack. Kind of seemed like out of the blue, so I said, okay, so maybe I better listen to him because I had kind of like gotten off my my track of like the way I normally take care of myself. So, so I really, when he said that, I wasn't really back on track. So since I had two close friends that passed, I said, well, maybe I'll take a couple of these pills. And it was like, and I've never been on medication besides if go to the dentist or something, and for pain. And so I said, well, maybe I need to take a couple of them, um, and to see what happens when till I can get back on track of my health regimen. So anyway, I started taking the pills, and then I was going to class. I was getting lightheaded. I never got lightheaded. So I said, these pills too strong for me. So, and I knew that over a period of time they would injure me, my organs. I mean, I knew that. And so, but I said I wouldn't take them for long. And then what happened was, I saw Miss Rebecca, and so something just told me to go tell her what was going on. So I said, Miss Rebecca, my primary care physician, he said my pressure was high. I said I wasn't having any symptoms or anything that I was aware of. And and she said, well, what's the medication? I say, lisinopril, 40 milligrams. She said, well, she just looked at me and said, she said, it's going to destroy your kidneys. I said, yeah, I know. So then she told me about people who was drinking the aloe. Because in the past, I would drink it every now and then, but I didn't really see myself as having a problem. And I didn't give it a lot of thought. So when she said that, I said, okay. So she said, drink for about 3 months. So I stopped taking the pills, which I wasn't taking every day, but I stopped taking. I just started drinking the aloe vera, and I had the blood pressure cup, and it it did just what she said it was gonna do. And I don't, what's that? Almost like 2 years now. And so I was just taking it, and and then I was sharing it with a lot of friends, and then I was getting on these calls, and I'm saying that because on that the literature she gives us, it's like it can take care of so many things. And I was like, wow. So I was seeing a lot of her customers come through that was taking it for different reasons. So I was like, now I know all of us can't be stupid, because we all wouldn't be drinking this thing, and we all not lying to each other. When we get on these calls, we're not trying to sell it. We just sharing our experiences that are the benefits that we individually, are experiencing. And so, so my blood pressure is it's been fine. I guess it's almost a couple of years now, and everything else is fine. But then I wasn't using the the one that you put on the outside you that much, but my hands were sore, so I was like, let me just start soaking my hands in. And so then I start, soaking my hands in the aloe, the topical. Yeah. And so I was noticing like, wow, it was dealing with the pain in my hands. I was like, okay. But the other part I left out when I started putting it in my eyes, but I really didn't see that I had any eye problems. But my experience when I started putting the drops in my eyes, then I was noticed this mucus was coming out my eyes. So I was like, well, she said it's good for everything, and I noticed it stopped the pain. And the day I was out cutting grass and I had short pants on, the mosquitoes lit into lit into my legs. So I said, I went and grabbed the aloe and just rub it up and down my legs. I mean, it stopped the itching. And I'm just saying this to say that you know all of those of us that's on this call, we not trying to convince each other. We just sharing the benefits that we experience and drinking the aloe vera juice. And and so I mean I when I go out of town, when I go out of the country, wherever I go, I always take it with me because I'm experiencing the benefits of it. And then when I get on the calls and I hear other people share, their experiences. But one thing I like to say about it is what I think or what I recognize when people have issues. It's not with the aloe vera, but the issues that they have. I don't know why, people don't want to be consistent with something that's working. I hear a lot of people they take it and then they doing good and then they stop. I mean, it's kind of like a mystery to me that why would you stop something that's helping you? Particularly if you dealing with something a chronic situation and you benefiting from it. Um, I mean, sometimes people to ask me why they do that. I say I don't know. I think basically, personally, I think that's insane. That's a craziness. That I know I've been kind of trained. I think most people have in this culture, like, we put ourselves second, third, and fourth, and we give other things priority over our health. I mean, you don't give it one body, so that will remain a mystery to me. That why people take the aloe, it helps them, and then they stop. And I'm not stopping. I mean, I have another group of friends. They around my age, and they, you know, they talk about being on medication and whatever diseases they dealing with. They talk about it like it's normal, like it's supposed to happen. Now, I do understand, like, if you're taking poison every day, you gonna get sick. But I guess you got to know you're taking poison. But I guess that's the only logical conclusion that I can come to. And I don't know why we don't trust each other. That's that's crazy. I have friends. I don't If somebody's your friend and they sharing a positive experience with you, I don't know why we don't trust each other. I mean, Alice was telling me she was drinking it, for some years. I really wasn't thinking about drinking it like that. Every now and then I drink some, but I didn't see myself as having a problem. But then when they came up with this high blood pressure thing, I was like, okay, well let me see. And so I think the young lady said, you know, like Miss Rebecca is a blessing. She's a blessing to us. And when you blessed with something or someone, I mean, you don't have to accept it. I'm just glad that I'm one of the people that I'm glad that I accept the blessing of having Miss Rebecca in my life. And and I listened to her. I've shared with her the issue that I'm having. So, and I shared with her honestly so she can give me honest feedback. And I'm not gonna stop drinking. Um, if it wasn't helping me, trust me, if I wasn't getting benefit, I wouldn't drink it. But that's who I am. If I don't see me getting benefit from something, I ain't gonna mess with it. So, but at the same time, I let my friends know, and then I got a lot of friends. A lot of them many of them on dialysis, and they this cancer thing, and and I say, you should try this, and they look at me like I don't know, but they like I heard Hank say one time, his I think it was his sister was dying. He was saying he stayed in the hospital all night and he seen these people coming in that don't even look like his sister. They was very attentive to him. And he said, but the family members, he didn't see them there. And that's the same thing. That's I'd see that situation with our community. Here we have someone who been given a gift and she shares it willingly and and she's not trying to get rich off people. And but I guess everybody ain't supposed. I guess everybody, I guess we choose what we want. Like I remember somebody used to tell me, that boy just like that pain. you know, they was talk about me. I just said he like pain. So I figured that's where they are. You know, they like that pain. They so used to it. They think that they supposed to have it. So but for myself, I thank God for hey, this call. I thank God for my friends that's on this call. I thank God for Miss Rebecca. But I'm gonna drink my juice, and now if I could take a bath in it, I would. But that's it. I could talk all day, so let me stop. And, so we can give Miss Rebecca a chance to talk. But thanks for calling on me, Alice. Thanks for calling me and remind me it was a call. See, that's the kind of
Thanks.
friend.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Mike.
All right.
Mm,
Can I
Thank
share
you.
real? Can I share real quick?
Oh,
Can y'all
yes,
hear me?
please. Yes.
So I met Miss Rebecca in 2015. I never forget. I met her at Linda's house, and we were set up. We were bending, and I had some issues going on, and actually it was poison ivy. I didn't realize it until I got it about 2 other times after that. But she, the aloe vera, she explained it to me, told me how to use the topical, and it really, really helped me. And I've introduced it to so many people. My mom, who's 96, she drinks it literally every day, and she will tell me, I don't let her run out because she definitely will let me know I need my aloe vera. She probably drinks it more consistently than me. So what's going on with me now is over the last year, I've been experiencing fatigue and I've been feeling off balance. So come to find out, the air conditioner on the back porch has mold in it, had black mold in it. And the spores started really coming out within this last week. And I said, this is what's causing this problem because I'm tired like every day. And I can hear Miss Rebecca saying, if you drink the aloe, and it's going to go to where it needs to go to relieve the issue. So, Miss Rebecca, I need strong, strong aloe tomorrow when I see you. That's what I've been going through, the black mold. So I think that's honestly my problem. Because I've been tired for a minute. I mean, this fatigue has really been wearing me out. But I thank God for you. Of course, my mom does. And we just, really appreciate you. Just thank you. Thank God for you.
Thank you. Barbara has a slide that she will put up to give you more information about the company as well as how to order the products and where to pick it up in the DMV area. We all on this line are so blessed. Just think we were handpicked by God to sit under Miss Rebecca and to receive these blessings. Just think how blessed we are and how lucky we are and how chosen we are. God has shown us favor, and it is such a blessing. Just think about the people that need this and that can't get it, don't know about it. So it's left up to us to spread the word and to get the word to people that don't know about it, that really needs it. And again, Miss Rebecca, I thank God for you. And at this time, we will turn it over to Barbara, who has a slide. And after that, we will hear from Miss Rebecca for closing remarks. And thank you all for being on the line with us tonight. And thank all of you for all of your words of wisdom, all of your kind words, all of your great testimonies. Thank you very much.
All right, Alice, I appreciate that. At this time, I'm having some difficulties actually bringing that slide up, but I can just make an announcement.
Okay, thank you.
Right, for those of you that live within the DMV area, if you don't know, we do have a seasonal Ward 8 Farmers Market where Miss Rebecca comes and do her distribution of the aloe based on orders. Now, she does ask people to, get their order in by 12 noon on Friday, if possible. So, because she's up all night. And like I said, this is nothing that's done, a week in advance. She actually makes it fresh. So if you all not aware, and this is from May to October, and again, it's the Ward 8 Farmers Market in DC for pickup. That is off of Martin Luther King Avenue. It's 2724 MLK. And the landmarks that I do tell people is there's a new hospital that they built, which is called Cedar Hill Regional. And I believe that's Georgetown or either George Washington Hospital. I get them confused as far as the name. But it's a new hospital right off of Martin Luther King Avenue from where the Popeyes is. We are in the back, in a little barn. It's a nice barn, a huge barn. historical, if you ask me, has some history back there. I would ask those local to come there if you can and get your order in enough time. And then she would transfer from late October or actually early November till May of the following year. She's over at Pentagon Row. But right now, I'm just going to concentrate from a seasonal aspect that she can be located over at, again, off of Martin Luther King Avenue. And if you all are not within the DMV, definitely go on her website and make your order. And with that being said, that's all I have, Alice, with me not having the chart up. And I would like to just turn it over to Miss Rebecca for her last remarks and closings.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. It was a pleasure to listen to you. And the pleasure is that you all gave God the praise for being in your lives. And that is what God expects from us, to give him his due, because he's been good to us. I don't care how small it is, he kept you. And be grateful, be ever so grateful, because just think, your suffering will continue if God had moved in. If you weren't aware that God is able and made provisions as you pray for help, God answered your prayer. So be thankful. And I am so thankful to all of you for giving God his due, because he's worthy. He's more than worthy every day. Every day, if you think about it, where you could have been, but look where he led you. That's enough to thank God for. And in addition to that, he took care of your issues. That's a blessing. And I thank all of you for it. One thing that I want to leave with you, and I don't know whether you thought about this. The power of God is awesome. But God spoke and things came into existence. What's unique about man and the aloe vera is this: God took his hands and molded man in his own image. God took his hands and planted the aloe vera. He didn't speak them into existence. They have a close relationship. And what you are experiencing is that relationship, the power of God. Man has more power than he realizes. He just doesn't know how to use it because of his wickedness. And if you think about it, look at the power that the aloe vera has. When God touched it, he released the miracle of healing in it. Any and everything it touched, it will heal. It follows God's instructions. Unlike man, because man has free will, man chooses to listen or not. Normally, he doesn't. And that's why you suffer. Because what does he tell us? Obedience is better than sacrifice. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Jesus Christ was the sacrifice. So you don't have to sacrifice. Just be obedient. And watch your suffering leave you. And he tells us we perish because of the lack of knowledge. People don't realize that. You've got to know who God is to be able to enjoy the benefits that he provided just by touching you. There's power in the touch. There's power. You have power. Use it. Claim it. and then turn around and perform it. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Just understand that the power. Look at what the aloe vera is doing with the power that God bestowed upon it. It is healing people everywhere. But ask yourself, what are you doing with the power that God gave you? What are you doing with it? These are questions we have to ask ourselves, and then we have to turn around and take inventory to see, are you fulfilling your purpose for God's will in your life? If you're not, I strongly suggest that you have a relationship with God and have a conversation with him to see where you stand. Because God has you on this earth for a reason. Are you performing that purpose? If not, don't do it anymore. Start now. Go to God and ask. He will tell you. He will show you. He will guide you in that direction. But you've got to be willing to follow him. You've got to be willing to give up everything and go with him. You can't hold on to the things of the world and go with God. You have to trust him, believe in him, have faith in him. Always know this: God does not honor pity or sympathy. God honors faith. What did he say? If you have the faith of a mustard seed, he can work with you. But if you go crying and boo-hooing, who are you? He doesn't care about all of that. It's your faith that he wants to know about. Okay? So again, I really, really, from the depth of my heart, appreciate all of you, because when you glorify God, that means he will be rejoicing to hear from you again. And the more you rejoice, the more blessed you become. So keep praising him. And I thank you all so much for taking the time out to give God his due. It was a
Amen.
pleasure. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Miss Rebecca. Thank all of you. God bless you. Good night.
Good night,
God
all.
bless you. Amen.